everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here with another Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review. Yes, I'm here to give you my official review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 2, titled Meet the New Boss. Now, of course, if you've not seen the latest episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the newest episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, as I stated in my previous review, I'm not well versed within the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe. I've not seen any previous seasons of the TV series, so of course there are a lot of things that I may say that are inaccurate or just completely pass by over my head as being completely incoherent or just completely irrelevant within the episode that I'm watching. So, of course, I have been recommended in my previous review to stop being a naive idiot and to go check out the previous seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before I continue with this current one, which of course I will be talking about later in this video, so stay tuned for the end of this review. But with that being said, let's get into the actual latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, overall, this newest episode is focusing on the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and his plans for making S.H.I.E.L.D. a public organization again, and I have to say, it was definitely the most interesting portion of this episode. I feel like Jason O'Mara's character, Jeffrey Mace, who is this new director of S.H.I.E.L.D., was awesome. I really liked it. I really liked him as a character, and the overall Easter egg and reference that they used were awesome. And Jeffrey Mace as a character, I thought was a really good name drop and usage for the continuity of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and at least with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, considering the fact, for those you don't know, the character Jeffrey Mace was actually at one point in a specific Marvel continuity Captain America, because even though we all love Steve Rogers, Marvel considers Captain America a legacy character, so that means other characters get to be Captain America at some point in specific continuities, which I don't really buy into that much. But overall, Jason O'Mara I think does a great job as the new director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I have to say, I think he was awesome. He was definitely my favorite portion within the episode, and his performance and appearance and overall presence was really great. And for those who don't know who Jason O'Mara is, he's actually the voice of Batman in the current DC Universe movies, which of course started with Justice League War and just finished off with Justice League vs. Teen Titans. So if you've watched those DC animated movies, he is the voice of Batman. And I think he did great in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and overall I like his character and where he's going from. And of course I'll talk about him later, but overall we have two specific subplots outside of this director of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is the character of May, her dealing with these weird, ghostly, inhuman-y kind of characters and their dealings, I guess, with S.H.I.E.L.D. I really don't understand that kind of subplot, which of course went completely over my head, but with that being said, for those of you hardcore Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans out there, please, in the comment section below, if you can be so polite to, I guess, let me in on the whole dealings within the character of May and what she's dealing with at this point in time, because I found it completely irrelevant over the course of this episode and didn't understand one bit of it. But with that being said and done, the best thing about this episode, outside of Jeffrey Mace, has to be Ghost Rider. Once again, Ghost Rider kills it. I really liked him in the premiere, but we really didn't get a lot of him. And definitely that has a lot to do with budgetary reasons, special effects kind of a reason. It's all about the CGI. But the way we get to see him again within this episode is completely on point. I really enjoyed the character Robbie Reyes, the specific version of Ghost Rider they're going for in this continuity and Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the performance that Gabriel continues to put within Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is awesome. It's really good to watch. I really enjoy his character so far. And it's also interesting to see his growing relationship, I guess you can say, with the character of Daisy, who up until this point, considering the fact that this is my second viewing of any episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she is definitely my favorite character so far. I mean, I love Phil Coulson. I mean, Clark Gregg, he's always great, and he's definitely enjoyable as Phil Coulson. Ghost Rider's nice. Henry Simmons is enjoyable to watch at some points. But overall, every character is bafflingly incoherent or completely irrelevant to me when it comes to the character of Daisy. She's so far my favorite character. Her plotline obviously has a lot to do with previous season plots, so of course what she's dealing with I don't understand. But I like the mystery of that. I like the idea that she has this backstory of mystery that I really don't know, and she's dealing with so much crap that she doesn't want to go back to S.H.I.E.L.D. She doesn't want to go back with, Mac and Coulson and the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. She wants to be on her own right now, and I like that. I like how she is starting to grow on Ghost Rider and how they're going to work together on so-called missions against Inhumans or whatever the fuck. I love that, and I like her character. She is definitely, at least up until this point, my favorite female character and my favorite character in general in all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Of course, next to Ghost Rider and Phil Coulson. But overall, that's pretty much been my, I guess you can say, personal thoughts on this episode. It was very interesting, a lot more fun in comparison to the premiere. I mean, the premiere for me, it only had really two big moments and things that were going for it, which was the opening credits, the appearance of Ghost Rider, the battle between Quake and Ghost Rider, and the moments with Robbie Reyes and his brother. And that's pretty much it. Those were like the only real big moments. This episode had a lot more moments, a lot more action sequences, a lot more Ghost Rider, and of course, Jason Momoa's character, which was really good. And it was just, I don't know, in my personal opinion, a far better episode than the premiere of this season. So, with that being said and done, if I have to give you my final verdict right out of the gate, has to be a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was a great episode. Definitely superior into the premiere, and I'm definitely enjoying the season as it continues on. Granted, there's still a lot of things about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that are going completely over my head as things that I don't understand, like the characters that were referenced to me in my previous review, like the two very obvious characters with the extremely obvious accents. I don't understand what their purpose is in the series, and it's just one of those things that I really don't know. So, for the polite fans, please fill me in on these kind of characters in the comment section below, but I'll get into that later in the second half of this review. But that's pretty much been my final verdict. If there's anything else that's really a standout of the episode, was definitely the references, Easter eggs. I love the Captain America reference that Jason Momoa drops down, not to mention the Carter reference and stuff. Just overall, I just like the fact that even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a part of the MCU, you still don't get to see the characters you want to see, but it's still nice to hear their names referenced, that yes, they still live and exist within our world, which is nice to watch. Overall, moving off of them, the thing that I really take away as being an interesting concept is Inhumans. Now, as far as I know, Inhumans is obviously a big thing within Season 2 and 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, I think the interesting thing I take away from the episode is how Inhumans are used and categorized within the universe of Marvel, at least within the MCU continuity, which is the fact that at least as far as I know, any character who's not a super soldier, a spy espionage character, some form of Norse god, alien, superpowered alien, an android, or a billionaire in a machine, or some kind of science experiment, you're not an Inhuman. But if you're an actual human being who is born on Earth and have some form of super strength or enhanced abilities, you're considered Inhuman within MCU. And I think that was very interesting. I don't know, once again, I haven't seen the previous seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I just found that to be very interesting, because over the course of the episode, Jason Momoa's character, Jeffrey Mace, and Chloe Bennett's character, Daisy, reference themselves as Inhumans. And they have abilities, they have superpowers, but I don't really, at least realistically, from previous Marvel continuities, I wouldn't really consider them Inhumans like I would the Inhuman family, like the Royal Inhuman family. However, I guess the way Marvel is using them is the fact that Inhumans are just a brand, a name to give to human characters who are not, I guess, Avengers roster. That's pretty interesting. But I think the big question that I take away from it is that, okay, if these characters consider themselves to be Inhumans, and if this is the way Marvel is going to categorize human characters with enhanced abilities, does that make Luke Cage or Jessica Jones or Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver Inhumans? I don't know. I think that's the big question to take away from the episode, but overall, that's really all I have to ask and offer within this review. Overall, that's been my personal thoughts. I pretty much enjoyed myself with this review. The May stuff and the ghostly character stuff really was not on point with me. It completely went over my head. But the Ghost Rider, the Daisy stuff, the Coulson and Jeffrey May stuff were really great. And I'm definitely looking forward to more episodes and stories within this season. But with that being said and done, my final verdict stands as an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you personally think about this episode in the comment section below. And of course, everything I have to state within this review. But with that being said and done, seeing as how next week will be the beginning of October, not to mention the fact the return of Arrow and the Flash and the rest of the DC CW TV shows, this will, however, and possibly, unfortunately, be my last review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, with that being said and done, I was recommended to go back and check out the previous seasons, so I'm guessing from here on out, I will stay tuned to Season 4 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, I will be taking some free time to go back and check out previous seasons, so whenever I do return to review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'll be, I guess you can say, more well-versed and in the loop when it comes to the overall story and universe of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But with that being said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope everyone's enjoyed, hopefully, my reviews of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far. But with that being said and done, shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been Josh12.